Why is the all-seeing eye on the back of the American $1 bill? That's the question that was posed to me from someone through an email. I'm not going to reveal this person's name, but I will answer your question and share the video with others. Again, why is the all-seeing eye on the back of the American $1 bill? Great question. Many people may not like the answer, but it's definitely a great question. Let me first address what the average person believes is the reason why the all-seeing eye is on the back of the American $1 bill. As you can see, I'm going to show you exactly what this person is talking about. Excuse me. That's it right there. Right here. First of all, the average person, when I say the average person, I'm speaking of, most people in this country are Christians. So I have to address the audience of Christians. And like I said, I'm not against any religion. I don't mean to get on here and sound like I'm just like trying to destroy people's beliefs and things like that. But I made an obligation. I made an oath to myself that I'm under an oath that I'm going to offer and teach the truth from my heart. So I have to do that. I can't get up in front of you and teach something that I know for a fact is not the truth. And I do my best to teach the truth. I mean, if what I'm saying is not true, present information to me, and I'll be glad to publicly change it if you can prove to me in private. I mean, what I'm saying? Like, you can do this in private. You can prove to me anything that I've taught in some of these videos isn't the truth. But I'll say this. The average Christian, or the average American, because even some Christians, even some people that aren't Christians believe this, believe that the all-seeing eye on the back of the $1 bill is a symbol of Satan. They believe that the eye represents Lucifer's eye, and the light around it represents the enlightenment, because they believe that Lucifer was the enlightened one. And they believe that this eye represents Lucifer, which they basically translate to mean the devil. That's not what this eye is talking about. It has nothing to do with the devil. And many people just interpret it like this because, they've heard it from somebody else. And a lot of people that are putting out these videos in regards to the Illuminati and conspiracy theories and things of that nature are Christians. So they don't really understand exactly. For one thing, they don't even understand what the Illuminati is, or was, I should say. And for two, they don't understand that the Illuminati actually had nothing to do with Satan or Luciferianism. That's a whole other topic for a whole other subject. But no, this is not talking about Satan. Now, if you look at it, like you can get you a $1 bill and go ahead and pull it out. If you look at the $1 bill, it's basically, if you look at this, it's a seal. The symbol that we're looking at is a seal. That's what it's called. It's called the Great Seal. And I'll cover that part first. Now, I could go really deep into like exactly why it's called the Great Seal, and I can get into the indigenous people of this land, of the United States of America. I guess I'll go ahead and address that for people that are overseas. I'll address a little bit of that. Prior to the 13 colonies setting up their corporation over here, because that's basically what's over here. Like this is not a country, this is a corporation. The United States is a corporation. And prior to the 13 colonies setting up their corporation over here, this was once a country. It was once a country, and it still is a country actually, but many people just don't claim it anymore because they've been enslaved through the Matrix. And I'm not here to really go all into that, like I said, but I'm just kind of throwing out tidbits of information. But prior to that, there was a group of people over here that ran a nation. And these people that settled over here look basically like me. Some people call them Native Americans. Some people call us Native Americans, whatever you want to call us. Some people call us Moorish Americans. Some people call us the Indigenous Americans. Some people just call us Americans. But we are, all of these terms are correct. I mean, there's no difference to me. I mean, there's no difference whether you call me whatever. I mean, doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, it was a group of us already over here running a nation. And how we got over here, as far as, not really how we got over here, but our authority came from Africa. We got our authority from Africa. And many Africans don't even know this history either, but the indigenous folks that came over here got their authority from Africa. And particularly from Egypt. And they set up a new Egypt of the West. They said that it was called Egypt of the West. I mean, it wasn't called that. I'm not going to go into what it was called because it's too much. It's too much. But it was basically called Egypt of the West. I mean, that's what it was. Over here in these United States, this was Egypt of the West. We got our authority from ancient Kemet. We have a land mandate to settle over here. We had a land mandate. This was over 10,000 years ago. We got a land mandate to settle over here and to inhabit these lands of North America, Central America, and South America. So all of your Jamaicans, all of your Dominicans, all of your Puerto Ricans, all of your beloved people from down south, those from the Midwest, those in South America, from Brazil, those from Peru. Basically, all of us got our authority as far as land. We're speaking in law here now because, like, you asked me this question, so I have to go into the law a little bit. We got our land mandate from Egypt, because we know Egypt is one of the oldest empires on the planet. So they issued out a land mandates at one point. And we got our land mandate from Egypt, and this was called Egypt of the West. And proof of this can be found in the fact that there are pyramids or mounds over here that are similar to pyramids. We have mounds over here. We have mounds over on this side of the globe in the West. Some of them are older than the pyramids actually in Egypt. But we have similar building tactics as the Egyptians or the Kamites had. And that's where you get, as far as like our history, as far as us being over here. So one of our symbols, the reason why you see the symbol on the back of the dollar bill is because one of our symbols, this actually came from many people associate this with the Eye of Horus. They associate this with the Eye of Horus. And many people know, many of you know out there that Heru, his name is Heru actually, or Horus, or Har, that's another name. The Egyptians called him Har. Har, Heru, Horus, same person. That was his eye in the center of the pyramid there, that triangle there. That was the eye of Heru, or Horus. And I'm not going to go into the story of Horus. I mean, you can look this up for yourself, or maybe I'll go more into it in other videos to kind of interpret it. But that's where the symbol came from. It came from ancient Kamites, or ancient Egypt. And this symbol was adopted as a seal and put on the $1 bill because when the 13 colonies came over here, they got permission from us, from the Egyptians of the West. They got permission from what you would call Morocco now, Al-Marak or Morocco. They got their permission from Morocco to settle over here, the 13 colonies. And this is history, or our story, I should say, because they don't tell you this. Like, his story is something totally different, or what he teaches. But this is basically our story. So they got their permission to settle over here or whatever. And in doing that, this became a seal, because a seal is actually a legal document. Like when you put seals on a thing, you put them on documents, and they make them official. And the $1 bill, beloved, is actually a legal document. It's a contract. It's basically just like a contract. It's a promissory note, actually. Believe it or not, this is a promissory note. So many people kill for this, steal for this, go crazy for this, shed their blood for this, when this is just nothing but a promissory note. And if you know what a promissory note is basically a contract that between two parties wherein one party promises another party to pay them back X amount of dollars. And how this came about is because at one point, these promissory notes were backed by gold, but not anymore. They're not backed by gold anymore. But at one point, these promissory notes were backed by gold, so we use these dollars, or what you would call money, or promissory notes. We use these promissory notes because people didn't want to walk around with big old blocks of gold, so they created this currency to make things a lot easier. Actually, it was a group of Moors that created this system of currency. It came from Babylon. And basically, they created this to kind of make things a lot easier as far as in the banking world or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It really came through banking. Like ones would drop off their gold in exchange for these notes so that they can use these notes or whatever to trade and do business with and things of that nature. And then over time, the banks began to loan out money. Began to take out loans based on the gold. So they could like loan out 10 times the amount of gold they had. They could print out 10 times the amount of promissory notes based on the amount of gold that they had in the bank. So say for instance, if you had $100,000 worth of gold in the bank, they could print out $1 million of promissory notes and put that into circulation. And this is where we get our modern economy from. But I don't want to go too far off. So the reason why the all-seeing eye is on the back of the dollar bill, this is one reason. I'm going to take you into a couple more reasons. One reason is because of the agreement that these individuals that set up this modern government that we live in, they had an agreement with the group of us, and they still have this agreement for those that are privy to the information of knowing this information or whatever. They still had an agreement with us, and they still do. And in that, they have to put our seal, which made it official, on there. Now there's another seal, which is the eagle. It's the eagle, and I'm not going to go into what that means. I'll do that in another video. But they put their seal on there too, which is the eagle. But our seal was the all-seeing eye, the eye of Heru, because we were the Egyptians of the West. So that was our seal. Then when I say our, I mean the indigenous Americans that were over here prior to the colonialism that came over here, the 13 colonies, before all of this colonialization. See, what I'm putting this video, I'm really speaking to a lot of my fellow brothers and sisters that are on the continent of Africa, because they don't really realize that a group of us were already over here as far as people that look like me, like black people. There was a group of us that were already over in this country, so many of us did not come over here on slave ships. And that's something that has to be pointed out in history. I have to teach this information, because if I don't, I would be telling a lie. And a group of us, so see, we were already over here, and I want a lot of our fellow Africans to realize this. So many of them call us sellouts and things of that nature and say that we're not true to our African heritage, but actually we have a tie to this land, emotional attachment to this land, and many of our people don't even realize this themselves. So African Americans, you know, for the lack of a better word, have an attachment to this land because we were already over here. So that's one aspect of what the seal, as far as why the seal is on the back of the $1 bill and how it became a seal, is because of the agreement that the group of European colonialists that came over here, settled over here. They had an agreement, and in that they put this agreement not just on the $1 bill. I mean, it was on many of their contracts as well. Now, another reason, which is even more deeper, now let's get into the metaphysics of it. Now, this is the metaphysics of it, of what it means today. I just gave you a history lesson. Now I'm going to teach you of what it means today. If you look at the top, it says Annuit Coeptus. And basically this Annuit Coeptus translates to, he approves of our undertaking. He approves of our undertaking. Interesting right here. Who is he? Who approves of our undertaking? Who is our? I'll go ahead and define that. Our is the group of rulers that first came over here and took control of this land. But not only really just the land, it's deeper than that, but it's actually going into the country and how it was set up. Because when the country was first set up, it was set up under the Constitution, and it was for the people and by the people. Meaning that the people were those sovereigns, including those indigenous people, which is a part of the Constitution as well. The sovereigns and the indigenous people were the people of the land. And you had a group of rulers that came over here And basically, through a system of lending and banking, we're able to hijack and take over the money, the monetary system over here. And they took all the gold. So now the gold isn't backed by anything. But yet still we're using this money. And it's just like monopoly money. It's not even backed by anything. So the undertaking, or what they were saying is that they took the country up under through the resources, the gold that backed the currency. They took over the gold and the resources. So that's like an undertaker. Well, an undertaker is one who takes something down or buries somebody. So we're talking about people that have became dead mentally because they have no substance or resources backing them anymore. So that's a group of dead people. Anytime a group of people don't have resources like land and things backing them, that's a group of dead people. That's basically what that is, beloved. So, yeah, he is basically talking about the people. So when it says he approves of our undertaking, or he approves of our undertaking, they're basically speaking of them as the rulers or the elitists that came over here and took over the country. And he is the people. So the people approve of this, and the reason why they approve of it is because they use it and believe in it. Because there's nothing else backing this but belief and faith. There's nothing else backing this but belief and faith, beloved. That's all that money is basically a belief or a thought concept. Something that you believe in, and that's what gives this power. That's what gives this power, is your belief in it. Because there's nothing else backing it. There's nothing else backing it. So let me go into the pyramid structure. Now, your body is a pyramid. I'm just going to take you straight to the meaning of what this really means. I mean, there's many meanings. There's many people that come out here teaching like what they mean, what they think it means as far as the pyramid and all that. But as far as like really where they got this eye from, the eye of Heru is actually talking about the third eye. That's what it's talking about. Yep, it's talking about the third eye. And the reason why the third eye is separated from the body of the pyramid is because they separated you from your third eye. It's deep. They closed your third eye by separating or disconnecting you from it. And that's why you approve of their undertaking. You became dead because your third eye is closed. The undertaker killed you. You're dead. It's deep. You became a fictitious person, which is a whole other thing. Not going to go into too much sovereignty information here, or too much indigenous information here. If you want to go more into that, I suggest you get a consultation from me. I do legal consultations as well, as far as like indigenous people, on how to first understand what's going on to you. You have to do this through a phone consultation with me, and I can walk you through exactly what's going on with you in this country as far as how you lost your independence and sovereignty. You can call me and we can talk about this. But you shoot me an email and we'll go from there. Because I don't put out a lot of this information on YouTube videos because, for one thing, it's just too many people out here talking about it, and it's like a lot of people are misled, and a lot of people haven't had results in regards to taking back what's theirs or whatever, and reclaiming their sovereignty or their independence. So a lot of people, I mean, you get a lot of backlash when you teach these type of topics or whatever. And then for two, it's really not something that you're supposed to teach in public anyway. Some things are meant for the private. So I would never go into and divulge this information like totally publicly. This is something that you will have to learn one-on-one. But I'm giving you a lot of keys here though. And so yeah, they disconnected you from your third eye. That's what they did. They disconnected you from your third eye. And that's why the capstone is disconnected from the body. So your body is basically a pyramid. Your head is the capstone, which is where your third eye is engraved into your head. And then you have the body, which is the bottom half of the pyramid or whatever. The capstone channels in the energy from the cosmos in the pyramid, and it sends it through the body. But if you have a closed third eye or a block or separated capstone, like your head is chopped off, like off with your head, if your head is chopped off, then your head is not connected to the body anymore. So you're basically dead. You can't even channel that energy anymore. You have no life. And you approve of this. You approved of their undertaking. That's what you did. And it's a deep game on how they did it. I mean, it's a beautiful game. I mean, how they did it really, because I mean, I take my hat off to them, because I'm not gonna go out here trying to like really teach a lot of people on this information, because for one thing, most people say you're crazy. They believe, you know, oh, there's something back in this. This is money. And if it ain't nothing back in it, then you want it. Don't you charge money for your readings? You want it. Yeah, I want the money. But really, that's another thing I'm going to get into. See, when your third eye is awakened and you begin to connect your third eye back to your body, see, I don't have to go out here and get the money the way most people do. I attract the money. So no, I'm not really out here worried about getting readings. I mean, the readings are going to come. I'm not out here chasing money. Most people chase money, and what I mean by that is that they go and work a job every day and spend between 10 and 20 hours a day working for money. This is what they do. Me, I just create the money through rituals. But you can't do these rituals unless you have an open third eye, or they won't work for you. You can do them, but they won't work for you unless your third eye is open. You can visit my website. I have something called the Money Ritual, and I'm going to put out a video about that actually really soon, on how to actually attract the money by just doing rituals, by simply doing rituals. You can create money. You can create money. It comes from here. And there's nothing backing this. It's just pieces of paper. You can create money, and then from there, you have to be smart and learn what to do with the money once you get it. Because, I mean, really, this isn't money. This is a fiat note. Now, let me address that, too. This is a fiat note. Fiat basically means fake, for the most part. Fictitious. I mean, basically meaning that this isn't real money. And the reason why it's not real money is because there's nothing backing it. So you have to know what to do with the money to get resources. So, no, I'm not chasing this money. I'm a resource in and of myself. This is just a medium. I use it as a medium to get resources with. This is what I do with it. I mean, I get these crystals. But now this is money to me. This is my money. I mean, I know y'all probably think I'm nuts, but I'm serious. Like, this is my money. Because I can use this crystal and create so much wealth. I mean, I can use this crystal and create so much abundance for myself. And it's not all about this, though. When I say abundance, like I said in another video, your health is your wealth. As long as I'm healthy, that's what I mean. I'm happy. As long as I'm healthy, I'm happy. Because I know that if I'm healthy, I can create and attract more. I can definitely create and attract more as long as I'm healthy. So my health is ultimately my wealth. That's what it comes down to. And I mean, I work rituals, like I said, so I'm not really worried about anybody trying to come at me, or, you know what I'm saying, worried about anybody coming at me for this information, because I work rituals and spells. I'm totally protected. I got entities out here protecting me. So if somebody wants to try me or whatever, I mean, people have tried. You want to try me? I mean, you're about to run up on a fire or a forest that's going to burn your ass. I'm telling you. I'm not trying to sound arrogant here, but I'm serious. Like, I've worked enough rituals with my ancestors, and I listened to them enough to where I'm totally protected, even from myself, from my own self-undoing. I've done rituals to protect myself from myself, because many times we really set ourselves up for failure. So you got to protect yourself from your own self. And then, too, I respect those in power and authority. I learned that from one of my teachers early on. You obey those in authority amongst you as long as what they're doing doesn't conflict with what you're doing. Now, if they try to stop me from what I'm doing, then that's a whole other thing. I'm not going to obey somebody that's trying to... That's basically them declaring war on me. I'm not going to obey someone that's trying to stop me from doing what's my God-given right to do, as long as I'm not infringing on your free will. I'm not telling you to pick up weapons. I'm not teaching nobody to kill or hurt nobody. So I know for a fact that I'm protected. I'm definitely protected because I'm doing right. That's what it comes down to. I'm serving the people with information, just period. That's basically what I do. And the reason why I'm addressing it is because, like, many people ask me, do I fear my life? And I'm out here teaching certain information. Am I scared? No, I'm not scared. No, I don't fear my life. The Egyptians had a maxim that we're actually already dead anyway. That's a whole other story. So you think I'm scared to die? No, I'm already dead. When I leave this body, I'm alive again. I had to come here for a reason, to teach you guys. And after that, I'm going back to where I came from. And many of you came here for a reason, but you don't even know why you came here. So I'm not trying to sound cocky. It's just that I've discovered my life purpose. I'm enlightened. Because I discovered my life purpose. Like I said, I'm not trying to sound arrogant or cocky. It's just I know why I'm here. I can't speak for you. I mean, I hope that you can learn why you're here. I hope you learn from me. And there are many other people on YouTube, all over the internet, some people in person that know why they're here. And I mean, I'm sure you can meet a sage or a shaman. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have many Ifas over in Africa. They know why they're here, and I hope they can teach you why you're here. But the thing is that you have to learn why you're here, beloved, and become enlightened, because they've closed your third eye. And that's what this is talking about. Actually, it's not even called the all-seeing eye. It's called the eye of providence. It's called the eye of providence. But I'll go into that on another video. But yeah, I mean, people just really need to wake up. People just really need to wake up, man, because they've been doing I mean, they've been like running the game on you guys, man. Like they really been like running the game on you guys, and it's like if you don't wake up to it, the game's just gonna keep going. And they pretty much already know that for the most part, many people aren't gonna listen because there's so much out here. Like they got Christians out here teaching one thing, and they got Muslims out here teaching another. So it's so much confusion that the people that run the matrix is just laughing because they know that people ain't gonna wake up to this type of information. But I had to answer the question, and I'm definitely gonna answer all my inquiries as I get them. So yeah, it's basically the eye of providence, the eye of enlightenment, the eye of foresight, and they've blocked that. See, it's the third eye. That's why it's called the eye of providence, because providence is foresight or enlightenment, and your enlightenment and your foresight has been blocked because your third eye is closed to where you're a slave for this. You're a slave for this, and there's nothing even backing it. And what I mean by you're a slave is you have to go to work every day and work for this. And I'm not talking down on people. I mean, we all are in different levels of it. I'm not 100% free of the bonds and chains of the oppression of what's going on over here, but at the same time, I feel like I definitely have achieved a level of enlightenment based on the fact that I know now that this doesn't control me. It doesn't control me. As long as I'm healthy, that's what it comes down to. And actually, when you have a mentality like that, it helps you to attract these fiat notes a lot faster, and you'll know what to do with them, and you'll know how to where to spend them and what to spend them on. So, I mean, you have to open up your eye. I mean, that's what this is talking about. You have to open up your third eye and connect it back to the capstone. I mean, you can connect it back to the pyramid. You have to connect the capstone, which is your head, and your third eye back to the body, which is the pyramid. And when you do that, then you'll free yourself of the spell of this money, because it's a spell. It has, in God, we trust on the money. This is my last point on this. God is actually a term that means to invoke. It means to invoke. And it has, in God, we trust on the money, because it's a deity. Every time I mean, people kill for this, steal for this, and like I said, and they destroy for this. And they don't even realize that they're keeping an entity, a spiritual entity. See, I'm an occultist, so I'll teach you what's really going on. They're keeping a spiritual entity in power. Every time they kill for this, and they steal for this, and they destroy for this, they're keeping a certain entity in power. And that entity, that spiritual entity, is what keeps the rulers of the matrix in power. It's a spiritual, unseen entity. That's why they have so much power. And you're keeping that in power by putting your faith in this. It's not even backed by nothing. I'll go ahead and break down the dollar more. I actually did it on a couple of radio shows, and I'll probably be doing it again on a couple more radio shows, but I'll break down the dollar more in other videos. But that's the basis of it. And that's pretty much the basis of it. I hope that answers your question. To the inquirer out there that originally sent me this question, I hope that your question is answered. If you have any other questions in regards to this, or want a spiritual consultation in regards to how to break free and become a spiritual sovereign, I offer consultations through my website, which is 13signsastrology.com. You can shoot me an email at 13signsastrology@gmail.com, and I'll be glad to answer your questions and set up a consultation with you. All my consultations are very economical and affordable. So until we meet again, my friend, I thank you for watching this video. Peace and love.